Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Soul-u-tions podcast. I've got a pretty big treat for you this week. I cannot wait for you to meet my friend, the yummy mummy. So listen to the intro and you'll get to meet her on the other side.
Einstein said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." Most everyone in the world is solving their problems the wrong way. Our problems come from our thinking, and we can solve them with our thinking. So, whether you're at your lowest, just trying to grow, or whether you are trying to sustain growth over your lifetime, join us as we push the boundaries of our current thinking and redefine how we find Soul-u-tions.
The hope and the strength and the love and the smiles and the laughter of friends and family. Add it up, you'll find no limit to the possibilities.
All right, Laura Conley, aka the Yummy Mummy. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
You are? Will you
Yeah.
tell everybody where you are?
Oh, okay. I'm outside of Boulder, Colorado, just living my best life
Live
in the Rocky Mountains.
and tell us, like, you've got a little kid on the couch, homesick from school.
Yeah, doing the mom thing over here. Got 2 little kids, got a brand new puppy. My husband's overseas. Wish me luck.
Y'all, we're going to put this in the show notes, but the Yummy Mummy, Laura Conley, your Instagram thingy is what? At
At Laura Conley Coaching.
Okay, at Laura Conley Coaching. And you have to follow her immediately because she has a brand new baby puppy, Cavapoo.
Yeah, Cavapoo. Yep, named Nugget. I mean, yeah, I think that he's gonna, make us blow up. I mean, I basically got him so I could, free the moms and grow my business.
Oh my God.
It's my latest marketing strategy.
It's a great marketing strategy. My niece, Simkins Style, who's an Instagram influencer, she has a Cavapoo named Hank, and he has his own Instagram account at Hank in the City, I think. But he's on all of her clothing stuff. He's just the cutest, and he goes everywhere with her. So I do think it's a brilliant marketing strategy on your part, because I'm like, if I've missed the Yummy Mummy, but then I'm like, what's going on with a nugget too? Okay, so you said something there, and I want you to talk about this because I think that this is one of the areas, like Laura and I overlap in a million different areas. The one area we don't overlap in is our age. Because she's how old are you, Laura?
I'm 41 and a half.
You're 41. 41 and a half. And I'm 58 in a few days. I mean, a few days ago I was 58. So, but we love all the same things, and we really have the same mission. And Laura has the best tagline for what both of our missions are. So it is free the moms. And just a little bit of background, I'm going to get her to tell you all about herself, but she is a weight loss coach for women. But in serving women and serving women through this particular niche, it's just the tip of the iceberg that you get when you get with Laura, because she goes deep into, all of the things that have us struggling as women that we talk about on the Soul-u-tions podcast all of the time. The issues that are unique to women with the invisible labor that we do, the mental load, the emotional responsibility that we take for our family. What I love about Laura, one of the many, many, many things besides her headband collection, which I do share a slight fetish for myself. and her zest and enthusiasm for life. But there's so many things I love about Laura, but this idea about like her mission in life is to free the moms. And she loves being a mom. And she also loves making money, and she loves serving women. So we met years ago in a a mastermind for coaches and how to make money and how to scale our businesses. And so that's how we met. That's where we fell in love. And she has all these great things. So anyway, Laura.
Oh my God, I love you. I'm just going to
hand
sit
it
here.
over to you.
No, I like it better before where you just sit there and compliment me. Oh, we have so many good memories from all those fun years. Yes, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very, very welcome. Yeah. So I want to introduce you to my audience and tell them about yourself, but tell them about the genesis of this idea about Free the Moms and all your stuff.
Yeah, of course. So like I said, I live in Colorado. I have 2 kiddos, Phoenix, who's 5, and Luna, who's 7. And now, like Tara was just saying, we have the recent addition of Nugget, who's 11 weeks, and our little boy baby dog, who's just, he's so cute. And I have a husband who's Brian, who's 42. I don't know why we don't tell the ages of our husbands, but our kids. Anyways.
I know, right? And Flying Brian is his tag.
Oh, Flying Brian. Yeah, Flying Brian, if you want to follow him on Instagram, although he's not very active over there. But anyways, so I became a coach 12-ish years ago after leaving corporate America. I totally had the golden handcuffs. I was a drug rep or a pharmaceutical salesperson, and it was just not fulfilling. So I left and became a coach, and it was great, and I loved it. And I did a lot of golden handcuff coaching and vision and goal coaching and all that. And then I had my daughter 7.5 years ago, and I'll never forget, I was standing in front of the mirror 6 weeks postpartum. She was like in her little bassinet cooing up at me, and I was totally not there because I was beating myself up for not bouncing back into my pre-baby jeans fast enough, quote unquote. And I was just like butt naked in the mirror, and I had a wake up call, and I was like, oh crap, like I'm going to pass this down to her if I don't heal this once and for all. Because prior to that, I had really accepted defeat. I had just been like, this is just going to be my thing. I'm just going to yo-yo forever. I'm just going to either be on like some silly green juice cleanse or throwing in the towel and having like a 7-course dinner, whatever. I was just like, that's just going to be my thing, whatever. And then in that moment, I was like, no, I have to solve this. So I went on kind of a crazy mission to heal my relationship with my body and food. And also I did want to lose a baby weight, but I wanted to do it like in a healthy way. I was like, I can't bring myself to do another freaking green juice cleanse or like eat 800 calories a day. I was like, I have to figure this out once and for all. And so went on a mission. And what was so funny, it was kind of hidden in plain sight. The answers were right there. So much of what created what is now the Yummy Mummy method was my background in psychology, a lot of the coaching tools. I was also a yoga and meditation teacher during that time after I had left corporate for like 8 years. And I don't really teach yoga anymore, but I integrate a lot of that mindfulness into my coaching practice. But anyway, so I went on a mission, and I'll never forget like telling my husband, like I really did it. Like I really lost weight for the last time. Now I do believe that it's a practice too, right? Like I believe that my relationship with my body,
100%.
Yeah. And food is a lifelong practice in a relationship, just like my relationship to my daughter or my husband or whatever. Like it is evolving. And so, but I do remember being like, whoa, this is it. Like I really freaking did it. And I actually kind of freaked myself out because I was like, if I can do that, then I could do anything, because that was like the impossible thing. And then the same conviction and drive I had to heal for my daughter kind of arose within, because I was like, okay, if I can solve this for me, I could solve this for all the other moms. And I had a moment right around that time period where I was in the pool with my daughter, like rocking a bikini. And I just glanced around and I was like, oh my God, all these other moms, there's like 17 moms on the chaise lounges in their cover-ups, not playing with their kids. I'm not saying they necessarily wanted to play with their kids. I just want them to have the choice. If they want to play with their kids and they want to, like, you know, rock a bathing suit or whatever, you know, that's subjective, of course. But anyways, my point is they were like handcuffed to the chaise lounges. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to free them. So in that moment, I decided to like completely niche down and let go of all of my like regular life coaching clients, and the Yummy Mummy was born. And so, yeah, so that's the story. I mean, that's a long story short. And so here we are, like 7+ years later, just freeing the moms.
Just freeing the moms. And it's so interesting just because even listening to you tell the story of how this all came to be, and when you're talking about that moment where you had resigned yourself that, I'm just going to yo-yo back and forth forever. And I think that the way you coach weight loss and losing weight for the last time and the way I coach women, it's the same thing. It's really interesting. We resign ourselves to, you know, in your situation, yo-yoing for, you know, for the rest of our lives. And in some of the coaching I do, it's just like, waiting until it's my time, or my, you know, waiting for this season to pass or the next season to come where I have time for me. What we're really doing is so much deeper, because when you say I was resigned to yo-yoing, what you were really resigned to is being really mean to yourself about how you look, right? Talking to yourself. Like, I was resigned to living a life where feeling good about myself was dependent upon what a number on the scale was. And I want you to talk more about that, because I don't think in our culture and in our society that we really connect those two dots together. Like, I'm just going to yo-yo, whatever. But it's so much deeper than that. Like it hurt. It really does hurt my heart to make me think about how being resigned for the rest of your life to just beat yourself up or talk mean to yourself over something. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, that's such a good point. I've never like put it that way, and that's so articulate. I love it. I had totally accepted that defeat, and it's true. Like when I was X number on the scale, I was like totally berating myself, not going out to dinner, not like canceling plans, like punishing myself and doing 3 a days. I swear to God, I became a yoga teacher so I could like work out more. Anyways. So stupid.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, I'm like, totally. So I was like living and dying by the scale. And yeah, when it was down, I was like happy and good enough. And when it was up, I was like a failure and I sucked at life. And I think a lot of people probably experience that. But for me, and also a lot of people, there was an added layer of shame too, because I was like, you're a yoga teacher. Like, you should be evolved enough to love your body at any size. And the funny thing is I kind of had like a love-hate relationship with my body. And I finally realized after so many years, that like, you know what? I actually do love my body, and me wanting to change it doesn't mean I don't love it. Like, that actually was such an aha, because I felt shame for actually wanting to lose weight, but to do it in a healthy way, right? Like, I really wanted to lose weight and do it in a healthy way. But because I was a yoga teacher, it was like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, a good yoga teacher is like wafy, right? Like very slim. I mean, of course, like intellectually, that's not my definition, but our culture's definition of a pharmaceutical rep, of a yoga teacher, fill in like 7,000 other roles, right? This conditioning that we get is just so effed. And so, yeah, it's like, okay, on one hand, as a yoga teacher, I'm supposed to look a certain way, but on the other hand, I'm supposed to accept my body at any size. And what I really found, and this was my big aha among many, which was like, I actually can accept and love my body and want to level it up, just like any other relationship, just like my marriage, just like my parenting, right? Like, just because I want to like not snap at Luna, right? Like it's good. It's just, I just want to level it up. So,
and
anyways.
I appreciate that about your coaching, because you're so good in taking the shame out. It's the shame, like the 360 degrees of the shame, like no shame. And if you want to be a size 20, and no shame if you want to be a size 2. You get to decide because it's what you want and you desire. And that's just a good enough reason. And let's just take shame out of the picture. And you also talked about how this conditioning that we're just effed with it. I'm just going to throw that word around, feel really,
wild.
But yeah, I just feel really radical about that. But I had such a different experience and thinking that I had just bypassed, like that I didn't get that socialization because I was always, quote unquote, naturally thin. I was a ballet dancer. I had my mom was thin, but she had to really watch everything that she ate. But my father had a different metabolism that I inherited. And then plus you put all of this just dancing on top of it and doing all these things. So I never, ever, ever thought twice about my weight. And so I lived this entire, I would say I lived the first 52 years of my life without ever having a thought about food and identity and body image. And then I hit perimenopause and menopause, and all of a sudden my body has totally changed. And I feel so bad about myself and about how it looks. And for me, that was the moment where I realized I had absorbed all of the same socialization. And when all of a sudden I didn't fit what that commercialized, ideal, physical, just physical representation of a beautiful woman, combine that with aging out of that kind of age where you're really, you're starting to age up into this interesting place of not being considered sexy, but it's not just not being considered sexy, but you start to age into this place of irrelevance in society where you are beyond childbirth age. You're kind of crossing over into a new area where you're kind of invisible. And so I'm crossing over into that at the same point in time where I'm like, what is going on with my body? And all of a sudden, everything that you taught that I had listened to your coaching on, I'm thinking, I am experiencing this now for the first time in my life, in my mid 50s. And I signed up for one of I think it was right before your 40th birthday. Remember you did like a challenge right before your 40th birthday. Yeah. And I signed up for that challenge. And I remember being blown away. I had this target. I had a nephew who was getting married. And I'm like, these pounds that I've gained. And when I'm talking about gaining pounds, I'm like, I probably had always been like between a 2 and a 4, but pretty much like a healthy 4 to 6 in my 40s and early 50s. And now all of a sudden I'm certainly a 6 to an 8. And it isn't that big of a difference, when you're talking about those numbers, but when you're living in the body, the difference, it's just totally a mind F of what's going on in your head with just this weird, this thing. And
yeah, it feels like it doesn't match. Like that's what my clients always say. Like before they become my clients, they're like, the inside doesn't feel like it matches the outside.
Yeah. And so anyway, so I joined your thing and I loved your approach, and I cannot tell you how many people I share you with. And I always tell you, I'm like, the Yummy Mummy was born out of this, postpartum weight. And I'm like, you have an entire, your market is going to continue forever, because when you get into the perimenopause and menopause age, like as you talk about it, our relationships with our bodies are for life.
Exactly. I'm like, we have to do this work now. I mean, we're going to have to do it.
At some
Anyways,
point.
we might as well do it now,
Yeah.
right? So that we have a really solid foundation for when life happens. And it is why I end up with so many clients in perimenopause, because it's not like just a diet, right? Like it has to be holistic. It has to be the root work. It has to be hormonal. Like we have to look at all the different things to make it permanent, to make it what it is. And again, yes, it's a practice.
Okay, so let's talk about your practice. Just share. I loved so many of the things that you did in that 30-day challenge. And so do you mind sharing it with?
Oh, I have no idea what we did, Tara.
Okay, I'll tell you what we did.
A year and a half ago. Okay.
It's what you do every day. I know.
We can talk about, do you want to talk about, do you want to talk about journaling? Is that what we're going to talk about?
Yes.
Like, I don't even remember my challenge from the fall.
Yes, I want to talk about journaling, Laura Conley.
Okay, good. Journaling. I know. I started calling it like the self-care system because it has your back. Yes, I make my in quotes. I highly encourage my clients and my challengers to journal every single day. And some people are like, oh, I'm not a journaler. And I'm like, okay, you can be a writer downer. And I just say that in case you are listening and you're like, oh, I don't want to journal every day. And so let me first just tell you for a second on journaling. It's really great. You get to have a practice of like being your own BFF and setting yourself up for a really great day. Yes, crappy days are going to happen for sure. But I have so much data now because I've journaled for so long that if I go an extended period, even like a week without journaling, I am like, woof, like, where am I? Like, where did I go? I'm just not myself. And so I feel like this practice, and it's a prompted practice. So I give my clients prompts that they are answering on a daily basis. But it becomes like your accountability buddy. It becomes like your best friend. It helps you set your day up. It's like brushing your brain, right? Like we all brush our teeth every single day so our teeth don't fall out of our head, right? It's like the same thing. We need the same practice when it comes to our health. And just nobody's taught us that. Like nobody taught us that we have to check in with ourselves. I mean, it's getting more prevalent now, thank God, with meditation, and I'm a meditation teacher. I love meditation, but I like journaling even better for me. And it's all, it's whatever works for you. I actually do a little bit of both. But anyways, I really love for my clients to brush their brains every single day. And what do we do inside that practice? We just have a check-in with ourselves. Like, how am I feeling today? How do I want to feel today? What am I grateful for? What might I want to eat today? It's very feminine and loose. It's not diety and like write down how many freaking ounces of chicken you had yesterday, right? It's not that. It's more of a self-inquiry and like a way of getting to know yourself and your habits and your behaviors and your thoughts and your feelings so that if you want to change them, you can, because in order to change anything, I know it's cliche, but we have to become aware. And so it's like the best awareness practice that you can create. And now I crave it. Like if I don't journal, I miss it. And my clients are the same way. It's not a chore anymore. It's a sacred ritual. So it's like kind of everything.
Well, I can attest. So Laura and I will co-work sometimes, which is 8:00 in the morning my time and 6:00 in the morning her time. So I get to see her firsthand. The first thing she does in the morning is she goes, I'm going to meditate and journal. Like that's the beginning of our co-working
Unless I decide
session.
to go buy a puppy.
Yeah, one day she did procrastinate.
One day I just bought a puppy. That was like a week ago. But yes, you're right. Most days I do my journaling.
I mean, but that's the beginning of our hour that we co-work together. For me, I'm like, oh, I've already done that part of my day and I'm writing emails or doing something else. But for her, I get to see her when she really is. I mean, and I'm an empty nester, so sometimes I am rolling out of bed myself at the same time. And even on those days, I tend to go straight into work. And Laura has trained herself that the first thing she does really is, unless she's looking for puppies, is to meditate and journal.
You're allowed, if you're getting a puppy, it's allowed. But other than that, you better, and I'm not perfect at it either, but oh my gosh.
But she does do it. And so that to me was so interesting because when I did her challenge, your challenge, Laura, when I did your challenge, I had been watching, I had been watching my weight and recording it in the notes section of my phone for a year and watching it go up. And I had, for the first time in my life, started weighing myself. And so I'd been watching this and, they go up and down and it fluctuated in this 5 to 10 pound range. And then when I was like, I've got to do something different. And I'm going to hop on the Yummy Mummy challenge here. And so when you're like, bring journaling into it, I had never thought about that before. And like what you said, it is like this BFF because I would weigh myself first and I would look at that number. And then I'd open my journal. And instead of just mindlessly beating myself up or like what we were talking about, being resigned to whatever that we were going to tell ourselves that we meant or my value was as a woman on that day, instead of just mindlessly assigning it a value of good or bad based upon what that number was on the scale, I had to write it out in my journal. And it gave me this opportunity to see those thoughts for what they were and to really put my hand over my heart and say, gosh, this hurts. Like, this is, ouch. Am I really going to do this? Am I really going to say, I'm going to start off the day and say it's a bad day because my number is 1 pound up higher than it was yesterday? I mean, it sounds
and we
crazy.
all do it. I mean, I've been there. Oh my God. It would follow me around like a black cloud. I'd be like 2 p.m. at my desk, like back in the corporate days. Cause like if you're a drug rep, you also have to like, uphold a certain standard. I mean, you don't have to, but like our culture says you do. Anyways. Right. Yeah. And I'd be sitting there about to go into an office or in my car, at my desk, whatever. And I'd be like, why am I in such a bad mood today? Like I'm just sour. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, I didn't weigh what I wanted to weigh this morning. And yeah, I so feel you on that.
The level of self-disappointment, even if you don't think it's coming to you don't think it's at the level of loathing, of self-loathing, but just the level of just disappointment in yourself that I would carry for that day. And so the journaling really opened my eyes and allowed me to see that. And so I could feel that disappointment and then I could put my hand over my heart and I could say, wow, that really hurts to be this disappointed in what this number says. And then it also allowed me, because I have my meditation and mindfulness practice originated in contemplative prayer and just this I really always saw it as a nonviolent kind of form of communication for myself. And so I was like, wow, let me take a step back here and just first recognize that this hurts to be disappointed. And then secondly, it allowed me to just also say, okay, what's the big picture here? What is it that I'm saying is really important to me? This goal that I want to achieve. And then I could remember why it was important to me.
Exactly.
And so I could, in a gentle way, turn it around to just remembering why this was important to me and why I wanted to do this. And then instead of having a bad day or being in a grumpy mood all day, it gave me the opportunity to recommit to that goal on a daily basis.
Yeah, I love the way you're saying that because for most of us, if we're a pound up, yet we like ate on our plan or whatever, we're going to throw in the towel. Like, I can't tell you how many times I did that. And then I'm going to wait for January 1st or like the first Monday of next month or whatever the hell. Right. And so I feel like the journaling really, it catches you. It's like you're, like I said, like your BFF or your accountability bestie, because it's like, It helps you process that disappointment. It helps you to like, yeah, put your hand on your heart. Like, of course I'm disappointed. This makes sense. Like, I've been conditioned to be disappointed when the scale doesn't go like perfectly down. And also I can change it and switch it if I want to, like holding space for the disappointment, not making ourselves wrong or bad for being disappointed, not whack-a-moling it, which is my tendency. And then also holding space for commitment or devotion or whatever, however you want to feel that day.
Yeah.
And you're right. It gets you right back on track. And that track is something that you hopefully, I mean, if you do my challenges, or you're my client or you're Tara's client, like, right, like whatever you're creating, it's been decided that you're creating that from like your highest best self, right? So it's like just that recommitment to your highest best self every single day. And it really gets you the best life ever.
Laura and I are going to dig deeper into some other conversations, but you're going to have to wait till next week's episode to listen to all the other yummy mumminess that we have coming your way. Thanks as always for listening to the Soul-u-tions podcast. And don't forget to follow and share this episode with a friend. It is always something that we can do as women is to share something easy that we've enjoyed listening to. And of course, I appreciate that as well. Until next week.
'Cause I ain't done living the life I'm meant to lead. And I ain't done loving the ones who cared for me. The hope and the strength and the love and the smiles and the laughter of friends and family. Add it up, you'll find no limit to the possibilities. The left and the right and some faith in the fight and your courage is all.